I love what I do, Andrew. And I've always said the first thing that I do is I always talk to my family first. They come first, and because I think, when you have a job, I mean, your family has to buy in too. It's not just what you want out of life. It's everyone buying in. So I'll sit down and talk to my wife and my kids and see where they're at and what they're thinking, and then we'll see what the Yankees are thinking. That's not my concern right now. I mean, I've had 10 great years here. I feel extremely blessed. God has been good to me, and we'll see what the future holds.
Dylan, that was after the Game 7 ALC loss to the Houston Astros. He was asked about his future with the Yankees organization and shared his thoughts, and now we know what the Yankees' intention was. They were not going to bring Joe Girardi back. He had been the Yankees manager since 2008, 10 years with that organization, 6 postseasons, won 1 World Series in 2009. What will his legacy ultimately be for Yankee fans, the tenure and resume he put together while wearing that uniform as a manager?
I think a really strong resume and a really strong legacy, Tyler. You see it, best record in that span. Now, did that lead to enough postseason success for Cashman and the rest of the front office? No. Typically, the Yankees have set the bar so high that 1 World Series win and only 1 World Series appearance in a decade span, 10 years, where you've had the best record is not going to cut it.
Okay.
Even just 6 postseason appearances with the extra wild card, not going to cut it. But the reason I think he'll be so favorably remembered is because he did deliver a World Series. That's where it begins and ends with the Yankees.
Yep.
You have to win something or else you're not really in the discussion. Something that could never be argued is the effort and how much he cared, almost to a fault. I think that's part of the reason he's losing his job is because he put so much serious energy into winning these games. I think the Yankees are looking at someone a little more lighter, someone that's going to make the clubhouse a little more free and easy and not be so rigid with the way they come to work every day. But he poured his heart and soul into the Yankees organization from a player perspective and carried that right over into a managerial perspective. I don't think there's any a way because of only 1 win in 10 years he's going to be revered like the Joe Torres, like the Casey Stangles. But I think he's right in that little tier underneath those legends, those legendary Yankee managers, because he's a Yankee guy through and through. He had big hits, the triple in the '96 World Series. He's been a Yankee really all around, and the way Yankees kind of view their own is favorably when they deliver championships, and he did so as a player, and he did deliver one as a manager.
I don't know if fairness is something you can measure in a sport like baseball. It is
in a town like New York.
In a town like New York, especially when your standard for success is failing 7 out of 10 times. How fair is a game like baseball? Were the Yankees fair to Joe Girardi, letting him walk after what he put together? Was this fair to him as a man, ultimately, regardless of what he did on the... I guess you do have to consider that, what he did on the field. Was it fair to let him go, or should he, in your opinion, just one man, one fan's opinion, been given another shot?
I would have liked to see him brought back. I was somewhat surprised. The more I read today, the more I should have realized I shouldn't have been as surprised because the Yankees were going to go in a different direction across the board. His fractured relationship with Cashman and the fact that Cashman wants more of the power and wants to bring someone in that's going to be more of a lackey and a yes man that's more analytic driven is something that I think was always going to be there. For me, I thought what Joe brought to this team, and it's really funny, and it reminds me of Buck Showalter getting this team very close. You're right there. Bye-bye, Buck. Welcome in, Joe. Right. And then this team is ready to win. Whoever the next guy is in the boogie down is going to have a team ripe and ready to win the same way Joe Torre came in 1996. So that little full circle, for me as a Yankee fan, is a little bit ironic.
I imagine you'll be pretty pleased if the successor to Joe Girardi has
a very Torre-like first year.
Torre-like succession to what Buck Showalter built there in the mid-90s.